Welcome to Lighting for Profits, presented by Emery Allen, with your host, Ryan Lee, your number one source for all things landscape lighting. From lighting design, install, sales, and marketing, we discuss everything you need to know to start and grow a successful landscape lighting business.
What is up, y'all? How you doing? Welcome to Lighting for Profits, presented by Emery Allen. Oh, I'm so excited to be here, guys. We are live on Turf Stop Radio, your industry, your station, live on YouTube, live on Facebook. If you are online with us right now, let me know in the comments. Let me know who's here. Let me know what questions you've got. Let me know what you're working on. How's your week going? And if you're listening live on Turf Stop Radio, I'm opening up a text line. And the text line is 801-692-3677. So if you are listening on Turf Stop Radio and you want to communicate, you want to join the conversation, shoot me a text at 801-692-3677. And really excited for this show. Before I introduce our guest, I want to remind you guys, if you are looking to start or grow your landscape lighting business, then you are definitely in the right place. In fact, we're going to be here for the next hour, and you've got a couple options. If you're listening right now live, or maybe it's on the podcast, you're listening on the recorded, you can either go out right now and just continually put out fires in your business, or you can join me here right now and learn some new techniques, new things that you can do today, implement today, to work on your business. So I hope you'll make the choice to join me here live every single week. And I really want to thank you guys for your support. I truly am full of gratitude. Like I said, whether you're listening on Turf's Up, whether you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or listening to the podcast, I'm just really, really grateful for your support. So thank you so much for that. Today, we're switching up the show a little bit. Okay. Today we're going to have Dustin Gutkowski of Results Roofing on the show. Now, I've already had people ask me like, well, lighting for profits, and now we're getting into roofing. I thought you said stay in your lane. And we're definitely not going to get into roofing, but Dustin is the owner of Results Roofing, and he's got a lot of cool things going on in his business. And I truly believe that the landscape lighting industry has been a little bit myopic. And I feel like we can learn a lot from some of these other industries that are a little bit more advanced in some of their techniques and basically just maturation of the whole industry itself. So I'm excited because I'm going to start bringing on some guests that aren't just in the lighting industry, so that we can pick their brains and learn what their secrets are and what things are working for them, helping them move the needle. So I'm super excited to have him on, and we'll have him on in just a few minutes. But also wanted to give out a reminder. I keep having people request to join the Landscape Lighting Secrets private Facebook group. Well, unfortunately, that's only reserved for paid members of the program. So if you want to be a part of a group, then go to Landscape Lighting Mastermind. It's a free group that I have. And any questions that you have, any topics you want to bring up, let me know. And my goal is to go live in there every 2 weeks with a different guest, so that we can also kind of continue the conversation in there. So, well, what's up? What's up, Rick? What's up, Andrew? How you guys doing? Thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. And just did want to remind you too, in just a few weeks, I'm going to be in, I don't know where I'm going to be, Louisville, Kentucky, at the GIE and Northeast Hardscape Expo. And it's going to be awesome. Heritage Landscape Supply Group is putting on a free concert with Big and Rich. They're getting food and drinks and everything. All you have to do to get tickets is go to the website, heritagelandscapesuppligroup.com, go to the banner and click on it and just put in your info, and you get free tickets. So it's going to be awesome. I'm going to be there. Let me know in the comments if you're going to be there, and let's meet up. Obviously we can meet up during the show and stuff like that, but go to dinner or whatever it is. So what's up, Paul? Thanks for being here, man. We're also going to start I'm going to try a new segment today. And hopefully Dustin's up for it. If he's not, he doesn't really have a choice. We're going to play a game called Would You Rather. Now, if you've ever played Would You Rather, it's basically just giving two scenarios that you'd rather do neither, but you have to choose one. So if you guys want to play along and you're here live, let me know in the comments if you have any Would You Rather scenarios. Would you rather do this or this? And really both scenarios you don't want to do either. So you want to make the person choose something that they really don't want to do, but they have to do, right? So if you want to play along, do that on Facebook or YouTube, or if you are listening on the radio, then text me at 801-692-3677 if you want to play along. So talking about learning from different industries, the other night, someone knocked on our door, and it was after dark, but it's probably like 8:30 at night. And I thought it was maybe one of my kids' friends or something like that. But immediately I could tell it wasn't. And it was a door-to-door sales guy. And they were selling pest control. And it was actually really cool. I was like cooking dinner, and I don't know. I was just wasn't in the mood. Usually I like to go talk to those guys, try to offer them a job or something, But my wife goes and talked to him, and I heard him say this. One of the first things he said to her was, "Are you the primary decision maker?" And I thought that was so awesome. I'm like, okay, I think I turned off the stove and was like, I got to go meet this guy, because he asked, "Are you the primary decision maker?" And I love that, because he could have spent the next 10 minutes giving like her the sales pitch. And then she goes, "Well, I don't know. I'd have to talk to my husband." And then he just wasted time. Right. So he just got right to the point. Like, are you the primary decision maker? And I think we can learn from that, obviously I'm a salesperson and I'm an entrepreneur, so I appreciate that. You might think, oh, well, some people might get offended, but honestly, you're just trying to get to the decision maker as fast as you can. And if someone's, if maybe that's their way of pre-qualifying too, So make sure that you guys, if you're on a lighting appointment, that both decision makers are there. The primary decision maker is there. And you can do that on the phone. Like when people call in, you can just tell them, "Hey, are you the primary decision maker? Are both decision makers going to be there?" That way, when you get there, you're not wasting time, because it's really hard to overcome that objection when they're like, "Well, I've got to talk to my husband, or I got to talk to my wife." So I thought that was cool. A guy knocking the door is like 8:30 at night. It's already past dark, and he was out there hustling. I talked to him for a little bit, and he was trying to get 3 more sales for the night or something like that. So um, we are going to have, like I said, Dustin on the show, owner of Results Roofing, and we're going to pick his brain. I truly believe that there's so many, like I went to the huge convention, and it was a pressure washing and window cleaning convention, and people ask me what I'm doing there. There's so much we can learn from these other industries. So I'm excited to have him on and pick his brain. But I wanted to just quickly bring up something that I was thinking about lately is, when I started my business, I probably like you. I didn't start it to be like this entrepreneur, and like I didn't start it to be an owner. I really didn't. I was just starting it because I was tired of working for someone else, and I thought, well, I'd probably be happier doing my own thing. And how can I make $250,000? Like that was my goal. And honestly, I didn't realize at the time, but all I was doing was just starting another job. I really wasn't starting my path to be a business owner. I wasn't really trying to be an entrepreneur. I never even thought that I could build a business that wouldn't rely on me. It just was my mindset at the time. And my goal was just to make money. Like, how can I provide for my family and not have to report to a boss? Have you guys ever felt like that? Like, is that why you started your business? And honestly, I wish someone would have told me early on, like before I even started it early on, right? That's not how you do it. I wish someone would have said, listen, your goal should be to replace yourself as soon as you can. And if someone would have asked me, like, what's your exit strategy? What's your exit plan? I would have been like, what? Like, why exit? What? Why would I exit? I'm starting my business. Why would I plan an exit? And when you look at the super successful companies, these companies start with an exit plan. They know what their goal is. They're trying to get to X amount in revenues. They're trying to get to a certain size so that they could sell the business, right? And maybe you don't want to sell the business. Maybe you want to be installer of the year for 3 years in a row. That's fine. But if you want to be installer of the year, then you need to hire a salesperson. You need to hire someone to run the office, and potentially a general manager / CEO, right? So I want you to start thinking like that, because I promise you, a year goes by super fast. 5 years, 10 years, 20, it's going to go by quick. And then you're going to realize you don't have an exit plan. And your exit plan, again, doesn't have to be like selling for millions of dollars. It could just be that you go to work because you want to go to work, not because you have to go to work. And if you have multiple install crews, multiple salespeople, multiple people in the office, that's truly what can happen. You can go do whatever you want to do. I personally like sales. So Even when I had multiple people in the office, multiple salespeople, and multiple install teams, I would go out and do sales. I liked it. Okay. And that's okay. You can do that. But if it's relying on you, then that's a problem, because you're going to get hurt. Something's going to happen. You're going to want to go on vacation. You just can't be everywhere all the time. And the reason why you want to grow, you guys, I'm telling you this, it's so much easier. A lot of people think that it's easier just to stay small. It's actually easier when you get big because you have redundancies in place and you develop what is called momentum. Okay. These businesses that develop momentum, it's like a snowball going down the hill. The bigger it is, the faster it is. And when it hits little rocks and little obstacles, it just goes right over them, right? But if you're a little tiny snowball, as soon as you hit a little rock, you just stop. Even going downhill when it should be easy, you lose momentum, right? And so these bigger companies that have multiple employees, multiple locations, they actually have it easier than you because they now have more exposure and they have this momentum that unfortunately a small business never gets. And it's super frustrating because it doesn't make sense. Like you would think it'd be the opposite, like, oh, just stay small, but don't do that. Okay. And again, I wish I had someone do that to me, just shake me like 15 years ago. And listen, you're not going to believe me, but when you start your business, this is what you're going to be tempted to do. Don't do it. Right. So that's me shaking you right now. Don't do it. Right. So anyway, guys, if you want to play the game, would you rather, let me know in the comments and we'll challenge Dustin to this and ask him what he would rather do. Two really unlikely things that anyone would want to do. So let me know in the comments, or if you're listening on Turfs Up Radio, shoot me a text at 801-692-3677, 801-692-3677. And beyond that, we're gonna probably, I guess, take our little quick break and then welcome Dustin to the show. And again, I'm super excited to pick his brain. He's done a lot of good things in a really short period of time in a really competitive industry. Okay, I used to live in his market. There's a ton of roofers, so I'm excited to see what he's been doing to help his business grow. Guys, stick around. We'll be right back with Dustin Gutkowski of Results Roofing.
There's more to landscape lighting than just throwing a fixture under a tree. The best display is one that was not only designed well, but also stands the test of time. High-quality fixtures and bulbs are key to long-term success and customer happiness. At Emery Allen, our focus is on creating only the highest performance landscape bulbs in the industry, with long-lasting components that don't degrade or flicker with age. Each bulb's appearance is always consistent throughout your lighting project. We offer a wide range of base types, beam spreads, and color choices that will fit your needs. To learn more, give us a call at 843-480-4473 or email us at info@emeryallen.com.
Lawn and landscape pros need to keep their competitive edge, and the easiest way to do that is by attending GIE Plus Expo this October 20th through the 22nd. There's only one word to describe the biggest action-packed experience in the outdoor equipment industry. Wow! Over 1,000 indoor exhibits wall-to-wall with innovative products and the latest technology. Talk face-to-face with the engineers that design your favorite equipment. Then step outside and dive into the hands-on demo area where you can drive, dig, and compare equipment to your heart's delight. This year, the wow gets even bigger with the new UTV test track, the hands-on drone zone, and free parking. Free parking! Register now at GIE-Expo.com, and we'll see you in Louisville, Kentucky this October.
Attention all pros. When you leave a deal with your clients, don't leave money on the table. Join Turfs Up Nation today and partner with pros all across the country who can help you make more money for your services that are related to your project. Landscapers need plumbers, and pool installers need hardscapers, and every combination in between. Turfs Up Nation is free. Your information is secure, and you'll be connected with other pros in the industry who want to do business with you. And not to mention property owners who need help with everything. If you think your clients don't need you and the connections you have, think again. Join TurfsUpNation.com today and start putting more money in your pocket for services you never knew you could. Just remember to sign up for this free service. Go to TurfsUpNation.com.
right. It's about that time. Let's welcome our guest, Mr. Dustin Gutkowski. How you doing, Dustin?
I'm living the dream. You?
Oh, man, doing good. Thanks for asking, man. Good to see you.
Good to see you, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. I'm not gonna lie. I was a little nervous. I'm like, okay, will he make it?
Yeah, and of course, everything has to go just perfectly right. So you can see I'm sitting out here at the hotel. You can see by the lake, so it's a great view. But yeah, man, it was interesting to get over here, and then checking into the hotel, of course, can't go right. So I'm like, hey, I need a computer. So then they're like, well, you can use the computer in the lobby. Well, that one doesn't work.
Oh gosh. So where are you now?
I'm in Houston.
Okay. Okay, cool. Well, interesting that you're in Houston because we were going to talk about that anyway. So, I guess what I want to do is really find out. So, primarily people listening, watching here are landscape lighting guys, but the stuff that I've seen you do has been spectacular as you started and grown your business. And I think it's something that anyone dealing in the home service industry can really take a page out of your book. Let's talk about your journey a little bit. When did you start your roofing business?
It was basically end of November 19. So December of 19 was kind of the first. I think we were somewhere around November 24th, 25th. So right at the end of 19.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, and why did you decide to start a roofing business?
I have no idea. Journey to roofing was insane. I was actually never in roofing or even in construction for that matter before I was in the fitness industry. And just people that were on the same journey as me had started to get into roofing, dabble in the roofing. I saw some success. And I started with another roofing company as a sales guy about 10 months previous to that. So my entire time in roofing was probably I got it in January of 19. And then I started my own company and, end of November, December of 19. So that's been kind of my whole journey. But man, roofing kept coming up, and it was just random ways. Like, a random buddy I hadn't talked to in 10 years hit me up and was like, hey, do you know somebody possibly looking for a job? And I was like, well, what for?
We lost you.
Random guy asked me if I knew somebody looking for a job. And, it's like, sales manager for a roofing company. I'm like, why roofing company? And then I hit up an old friend, and it was, I started roofing. And so just a bunch of people I had connections with. And ironically, the last guy I worked for, I was running multiple gyms. He owned actually a roofing and custom home building company. And I just saw what he had accomplished over his time and he was able to purchase 30 gyms from his roofing / construction company. And I was like, okay, man, there's got to be something here, right? There's guys that I felt that maybe didn't have the structure that I did that were having a lot of success. And I decided to take the leap and moved back home to Dallas. I was actually out of state at the time. I started working at the roofing company, and we just didn't align on goals and dreams, and probably had a wake-up call that I was like, I got to stop working for other people. I keep pushing my wants and dreams and goals on them, and they're not their goals and dreams, and I'm being a hypocrite. I keep thinking they're the problem, but I'm the problem. And so I was like, hey, I got to put, my tell due ratio has got to be better. And so I'm gonna go put my money where my mouth is and go do my own thing. And I just fell in love with roofing. It was really weird. And I fell in love with the people I was doing it with. And so I firmly believe it's not what you do, it's who you do it with. And so it was like, hey, let's go do this. And here we are, man. We started the roofing company and haven't looked back since.
That's awesome, man. It's been cool to just kind of follow your journey online with, and it's not like I see everything you do, but the stuff I see, it's cool. I guess, did you even do any homework or research, or were you and see okay, there's already this many roofing companies and this is what they're charging? Or did you just be like, I'm going to start a roofing company and who cares? I'll make my own dent in the world.
There's so many people study your competition. If you don't know your competition, they're going to, and I just don't believe in that. I don't think there's any competition because nobody probably has my pure, goals, wants, dreams. It's like, hey, I always see these, we're the best roofing company, DFW. Okay, for whose standards? Because you're the largest, you're the biggest, you have the most employees, you sell the most revenue, you help the most. I mean, what's the standard, right? And so for me, I didn't really care how anyone else was doing it. I saw what I wanted to bring to the market and to the industry, and that was the way I was going to do it. I wasn't going to worry about who was doing it, who was doing it right. Ironically, people that told me to model myself after certain companies, I do completely opposite of what they do, and they're having success. I just saw what I wanted to do, and I was like, hey, you know what? I'm going to go out and do it, and I'm going to do it at all costs, and it's kind of set our own model in our own way.
That's awesome. When I started my lighting business, it was the same way. I actually have a marketing degree. I have an MBA, and all that stuff tells you to do the competitive analysis and everything. And I don't know why, like I knew that, but for some reason I just didn't listen to it. And when I moved down to Dallas, I mean, I tell everyone this story. I would have never started a landscape lighting business in Dallas if I would have done that research, because all the research would have been like, don't do it. There's already too many people and it's competitive and everything else.
Yep.
And I have a feeling the same thing would be true about roofing. So good for you for sticking to your guns and just following your, intuition.
Yeah, it's so many people will do it, but are they doing it right? And how many people how many of those people are, there might be 10,000 roofers, but how many of those are one-man shows, right? So is it really that many? And if there's going to be competition in everything you do, right? Competition is like a cop out. If you're worried about the competition, you shouldn't start any business. Okay, I feel like if you're worried about the competition, you're already setting yourself up for an excuse for failure, or if you don't make it, oh well, it was a saturated industry. Okay, well then do something different, right? Everything's saturated, no matter what you do, really. If you're doing the same thing everybody else is doing, but if you're ever to go in and educate or add value or become the authority figure, then there's not really a lot of competition.
Yeah, I love it. So what are some things that you've done to differentiate yourself? What are some things that you've done that's like, because it was less than 2 years ago that you
Yep.
started, and let me put that question off for a second. How many
Okay.
employees, how many employees do you have now? How many crews, like how many cities? Tell me what
Yeah.
what your
So we
size is.
got Dallas and Houston. So Houston, we started a few months ago. And we got about 10 people in Houston as of right now. 2 or 3 crews, so we're able to do 2 or 3 roofs a day. We're growing that market. Like I said, it's probably really 90 days old, 120 days old. Dallas, we got 40 to 50 employees, 6 to 8 crews, and so full office staff, full corporate office, 6,000 square foot plus office. We got a lot of in-house people, so it's probably right around 45 people in Dallas, and combined, you're talking 55, 60 over the since probably 20, 22 months in.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I talk to guys on a regular basis that are in every different industry, right? But there's some guys that have been in the game like 10, 20, 30 years, and they still don't have more than like 4 employees. Sometimes it's just them and one other guy. So I think it's cool that you've had that kind of mentality from the get-go of, okay, I'm not just going to be an owner operator. I'm going to be an owner of a company that's an actual business, not just a nice paying job.
Yep. I mean, I was just but people get so caught up in whatever else you're telling them. I just I don't give a shit what anyone else says. I'm not worried about what somebody else's thought is of me, good or bad, right? I'm sorry for the language. I'm just not worried about that. I have what my goals and dreams are, what I want to accomplish, and I'm just there is that stigma. Do you want to be an owner operator? This is the way you should do it. You should have this. You should have that. Look, I'm if the guy wants a 1 to 3 man shop, I'm fully support that. I respect that. I got a lot of friends in the industry. I'll help them. I'll assist them. I love that. If somebody, that's what they truly want, I'm all for that. And on the flip side, if somebody wants to go out and chase the 20, 50, 100 employee, build this kind of empire, if you will, chasing that legacy, I support that as well. I think what the most important thing is, no matter what you're chasing in any industry, it's figure out what you actually want, man, and reverse engineer that. Don't go out there and say, well, I just got to hire more. Well, what are you trying to accomplish? Like, what is the purpose of that hire? Are you trying to accomplish something? What challenge are you trying to solve for? What solution are you trying to solve for? Don't just go out to hire because maybe some guru told you to hire, or don't hire because you don't want to deal with the headache. It's ultimately, it's like you got to find what you really want and then reverse engineer that on how you're going to get there and putting those people around you.
Yeah, I love it. So I want to go back to my question. You've got 2 locations, 50, 60 employees. That didn't happen by luck, and it didn't happen by sleeping in. So what are some things that you did to differentiate yourself to get to that level that quick?
I think the first and foremost thing was, when it all started, I kind of touched on a little bit, was finding out what I really wanted, and really self-auditing myself, right? You attract who you are and what you are. And whatever you put out there is what you're going to attract, right? I firmly believe, like, even like with social media doesn't change you. Money doesn't change you. It exposes you, right? And so when you start to do those things, you're going to expose yourself. What I really did before I started the business and what I did was self-audited who I was, right? And truly got in like deep into, hey man, who is Dustin Gutkowski? And what do I want? What am I going after? Is it money? Is it the business? Is it what was it? And so for me, I really, after having my son, he's 4 years old, it was like I wanted this legacy. And what was that legacy? It was like, how many people could I impact, right? Like impact over income. When it's all said and done, are my kids going to be as proud of me as I am of them? And I wanted to establish that. So once I was able to really self-identify and self-audit, not only who I was, but man, who did I want to be, right? Like I didn't want to change who I was. I wanted to evolve into who I wanted to be and create those habits. And so it made everything else really flow. And it said, like, I want to change people's lives the way my life has been changed. I want to go out and do this for other people. You know what? Yeah, I could probably do it alone and make a lot of money and, quote unquote, live a great life. But that's not really what I wanted. It's like, it's only lonely at the top if you don't take anyone with you. And it's like, man, I want to take some people along for this ride. Why not change everyone's life around me? Let's go. And so when I knew that that's what I really wanted, I was like, okay, how do I get there? Well, I got to surround myself with the right people from day one. So ironically, when I started the company, I actually had, 100% of the company. There was a couple different investors that want to come on to play key roles from an ops side and a sales side. And I actually gave up a large piece of my company, although I'm the majority owner, because I knew eventually I was going to need those guys down the road. So why not just bring them in day one, right? And what that did was it sent a message from the top that I was willing to sacrifice from the very beginning to get others around me, because I was able to give up what I wanted right now for what I wanted long term. And so when you have that type and you're sending that type of message out, you start attracting other people. And then I'm constantly just putting out my message on what I want, how I want to do X, Y, Z. And so the people that are attracted to that, they're able to come along with it. And I think when you articulate, look, we sell ourselves that, oh, you got to have a vision. You got to go out and be an entrepreneur. You got to have your own vision. You don't have to have your own vision. You just got to believe in a vision. And I think when we bring people in, we let them know from day one what we want to accomplish to see if they were a good fit for us and we're a good fit for them, and see if we'd work together. We don't just hire anyone. And so we bring people into our vision, and we're constantly communicating that and bringing them a part of that. And then we back up what we say. We've made people partners. We've brought people in. We've started, multiple companies, and we brought those key players in as partners for those additional companies. And so we backed it up, and I guess it started to probably spread a little bit. And other people that have been screwed over or want that, they're coming on board now.
Very cool. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm going to talk about culture here in a minute, but before we get there, I guess, how have you used social media? Because, you're sitting here telling everyone, like, just, you identified who you really are and just be authentic. And it's true. Like, if you guys go follow Dustin online on Facebook, and you're probably on all the other platforms, but he's super authentic. And it's funny. Like, it's funny to me because, like, I won't just drop the F-bomb on a day-to-day basis, and especially not in a video. Whereas Dustin, that's like part of his brand. And he's just got these funny videos of him being himself. And I believe that attracts people to him because it's just him. It's authentic. He's not trying to be anyone else. So go give him a follow, and you'll see some of the stuff he's doing. It's really creative. But how have you used social media to grow your brand?
Yeah, so like right there, being authentic and not trying to be someone I'm not, right? Trying to fake it till you make it. I probably spent my whole life doing that, is trying to be somebody I wasn't.
Really?
It was, you look back and you go, wow, like you were a fraud. It was the fake it till you make it, just that it's that fraud mentality that why not, if you really want to make it so bad, why don't you just put in the work and make it? Why even fake it at all? Right.
Yeah.
And I stopped trying to please everybody. I stopped caring what others thought. It was, why am I putting so much stock into other people? What they think of me, good or bad. Like, it's not my business, and they might see one side of me, they might not. And it's like, for me, I fucking there you go. See, I cuss, I drop F-bombs. It's part of who I am. But I've had people that are like, hey man, you can't cuss or you can't do this on this, and I'm like, hey, this isn't for me, right? Like, I'm sorry, that's who I am. If that's not who you want to do business with, respect, right? I have no problem with that. I don't get hurt by it. I don't get anything by it. I respect other people's decision. But with social media, it started because I was I was a sales guy at a roofing company. I was doing it myself, and I was out just knocking doors all day, right? Just beating the streets, 75 to 100 doors a day, sweating. And I was, reaching X amount of people. And what I found was, okay, I was hitting a wall. It was like, I can hit on a good day 100 people. If I talk to a few, it's 75. If I get on a couple of roofs, it's 40, right? Like it was, and how many days can I do this? I was like, okay, well, how can I spread the message? So I started posting just my stories, right? My experience, like, hey, I talked to Ryan, his roof got denied. I was able to get his photos, and I worked through the insurance process, and I was just telling that story. And then somebody would message me or comment like, hey, that happened to me. Any advice? I was like, oh, okay. And so I started just talking about how either I helped homeowners, the good, the bad, the ugly, right? No matter what happened, I was like, I'm going to tell this. And what I realized was like, okay, people want to hear your story, right? Like they generally, that's why you're on social media. That's why people are on social media 2-3 hours a day. It's funny. People are like, oh, they don't care about my posts. I'm like, well, they do. That's why they're on social media. They're scrolling posts and photos, right? And so I was like, how can I reach more people? So I started just telling the story of what happened with roofing. And then I thought, man, roofing's pretty fucking boring. Who wants to worry about, like, I don't even really, like, it's not like, oh, this roofing is cool. It's a Saturday. Let's go roof, right? And so I was like, hey, man, let's be funny with it, right? Let's create maybe like an alter ego. So I created like this Roofer Simmons ego, where I put the big, like, Richard Simmons wig on and would go door knocking or get on roofs. Started creating videos to tell a story because I realized, hey, not everyone's, written. They're not going to read. Some people watch videos. Some people like photos. Some people like written. So I was like, well, I've got to touch everybody. So I'm going to post a photo a day, a video a day, a written a day. And so that was my goal, is to just keep posting. And it was tough, man, because for 6 months you're posting stuff and you get nothing, right? Like not one lead, you don't get one sell. You get a couple messages here and there, you get fired up. Hey, man, I was getting like 2, 3, maybe 4 likes. If on a good day, right? It was like, and like one's my wife, like one's my grandma.
Yep.
I gotta like myself. It's horrible. And so but I believed in what I was doing, and I didn't care, man. I didn't post for the likes. Yeah, I didn't post for the likes. I didn't post for the comments. I kept posting because it's what I believed in. And then I really wanted to inspire other people to go out and do what they did. I was living my dream out. I felt like my life had just started, a new family. I was in a new business, and I was just loving what I was doing and having so much fun doing it. I wanted to educate people and entertain people, right? And if I could help someone be inspired that day, it's like, why wouldn't I? Why would I want to post something negative to ruin someone's day? I want to inspire people to go do good shit. If we're all winning, we all win, right? And so it was just fun to me. And I used social media to be able to connect because there were so many people I wanted to chat with. But how many times could you text them? How many times could you call them? Well, on social media, it was like, hey, I started figuring out, I felt like I either knew people or I was reconnected to people of the past. I was like, oh, man, I went to high school with this guy. Haven't talked to him in 10 years now. I mean, this guy, I feel like we just hit it off again. And so it's like, hey, man, let's be more active on social media, connect with more people. Tell them the good part of it, tell them the bad part about it. And when I started telling my story about how I grew up because of my troubled past, I started getting messages about how it was helping people. And that for me was a switch. I was like, you know what? I got to do something to help other people because I lived as a fraud my entire life for 30 plus years, either lying about my past because I was embarrassed about it. I worried about what other people think. Man, I need to tell this story because there are people out there that if it helps one other person, that's good for me. It was all worth it. And
Yeah,
so
for sure.
the authentic side of it, and you start realizing that when you're authentic and you don't have to cover your tracks, you don't give a shit what anyone thinks because you're not hiding anything. So you're
That's
not
right.
worried about covering your tracks.
Yeah, no, I love it, man. So what we're going to do, we got to take a quick break, you guys, play a couple commercials, and then we're going to come back and finish up our interview with Dustin. I always have way more questions than we're going to have time for, but thanks for sharing your story, man. I know you're pumping a lot of people up, so we'll be right back.
Hey, this is Jeff Hesser, senior contributor and co-host of the Weekend Review here on Turfs Up Radio. Can't make it to major green industry events, but want to stay connected? Don't worry, we have you covered. Be sure to download the Turfs Up Radio app or visit our website. We'll bring you the live coverage you need to keep you up to date with everything that happens in our industry. And to find out where we'll be next, simply visit greenindustryevents.com. That's greenindustryevents.com. And always remember, Turfs Up Radio, your industry, your station.
Are you tired of working dawn to dusk 7 days a week and still struggling? Working hard isn't your issue. What you need to focus on is the business side of your business. That's where Profits Unlimited comes in. With our 42 years of experience in the industry, we have faced the challenges you are going through. We can help you with bidding, contracts, marketing, selling, and much more. Check us out at profitsrus.com. That's profitsareus.com when you are ready to earn what you deserve. And don't forget, tune into Profit Time at 10 to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Remember, profit is not a dirty word.
Hey, everybody, it's Brooke Ford, host of The Green Veteran here on Turf's Up Radio. Be sure to check me out every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern. You're going to hear some great one-on-one interviews with green industry professionals. We're going to talk about best business practices, highlight innovative products, and also provide some insight into some new emerging technologies in the field. That's The Green Veteran, airing each Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern. And remember, Turf's Up Radio, your industry, your station.
All right. We are back. Lighting for Profits, presented by Emory Allen here on Turf's Up Radio. And we're here with Dustin Gutkowski of Results Roofing. Gosh, I want to ask you so much more about the social media thing, but the only thing I want to just kind of end with on that topic is I like that you involved your employees too, like all your sales guys. They're always up on roofs, like talking about the story, right? The story of like, hey, this lady couldn't get her roof approved. We came in and made it happen for her, so she didn't have to pay for a roof herself. We got it through the insurance company. So is that something that you just challenged everyone to do, or they just fed off your excitement and how you were doing it?
A little bit of both, man, because, for me, it's like, I think it starts with, I hate work-life balance. I don't think it exists, and I hate when people try to teach it. It's work-life integration, right? As an entrepreneur or anyone that's successful, you don't even have to be an entrepreneur, right? Like, you could be high up in a business, or you could be
We lost you.
Man, like for me, I don't have days off. I just work remotely, right? And so I don't believe in this work-life balance, this work-life integration, and that should be a part of everything. And so I try to incorporate all that. Like, our employees are like family to me, my kids, etc. And so part of it is we challenge them, right, to tell better stories, add value on social media, educate and entertain. And then part of that is, when you're doing it yourself or you're asking them to do it, some of the people, I think, feed off it. Some people, they even see other people in other industries doing it and they feed off that. And then, part of it is we try to bring in marketing people to help. We have an in-house marketing team that helps. And so it's a little bit of everything.
Yeah, no, I love it, man. I know it's super successful. And just like you shared your experience of knocking doors, and you can only knock 100 doors a day if no one really answers. Yep. And it's like a one-to-many relationship. You go onto social media, or I'm sorry, it's like a one-to-one relationship. You go onto social media, it's like one-to-many. Now you teaching your 60 employees, now it's like a many-to-many. And so they're tagging your company and everything else like that. I think everyone should be doing that if they own a business, is getting their employees involved and make it part of the culture. So I want to talk about culture. How important has culture been for you in growing to as fast as you have to the size that you have?
I think it's probably one of the single most important ingredients in anything you do, because culture is, I think, made of habits, right? Your culture is obviously how you treat your people from the top, right? It's usually a reflection of who you are. Everybody talk. Ironically, man, we don't really talk about culture, which is probably the most ironic thing. When I always see people like, our culture is this and our core values, and I'm like, yeah, man, but you don't live those. I know you, right? It's like what you put on a wall. Because usually if you have to talk about culture, you probably don't have it, right? Like, and I don't mean that in a derogatory way that you can't talk about culture, because it's a huge thing, but I think culture is made up of habits. It's habits of the way you treat people. It's a habit of who you are. It's a habit of what you are. But it is, man, this ironic that you can't really pinpoint what culture is or how you get there, but you always end at a point, good or bad, going, our culture is what makes us, or our culture is what breaks us. And I will say that is probably the key ingredient to our success, has been our culture. Hey, we have employees that act as owners. They're incredible. I love these guys. They're just such great ambassadors, and their culture for the company and for our clients is incredible. And we would not be where we are without those. And so
so you get those guys like that. There's got to be something, and maybe it's just them following you and your passion. But what do you attribute that to? Like, how come they act as owners?
We enable people to do what they need to do. I think when people are communicated with, like we probably have over meetings, like we have an ownership meeting on Mondays, we have conference calls, we have a leadership meeting on Thursday, we have a team meeting on Friday, we have conference calls, we have a WhatsApp chat where we're over communicating what we're doing. So it's the communication of not only where we're at, where we're going, and what do we need to do to get there. And so we communicate those things so people feel a part about where we're going. So it lets them see the vision and like, hey, okay, if I do X, Y, Z, I can be here, right? And I think it's firmly, I care more about our people's success than they care about their own. And I'll put that against anyone out there that works for us. Like, I truly do care about our people's success. Even the people that have left, man, there's people that have left, and I always go back and go, hey man, why did that person leave? And I truly sit back and take emotion out of it and go, is there something else I could have did to help? Maybe that person could have stayed. And every time I do that, there's always one or two things that I said, hey, you know what? As an owner, as a leader, I should have probably stepped in. I should have probably did this. I could have been more accountable here. I could have did this. I try to point more thumbs and fingers. It's easy to say, oh, that employee sucked. That employee quit. He didn't do this. They didn't do that. And I try not to be that way. I try to look, hey, you know what? I probably should have did something different, and maybe we wouldn't have lost that person. Do I know if we would have lost them? There's no way to ever know. But in my heart to heart, I should have been a better leader. And that's how I analyze things. And if I'm feeling something, I'll reach out to a teammate. I'll try to text them. I'll try to connect with them. I'll try to call them. I'll try to go to any of their events and support them, not just business-wise, but personally, right? It's to clear out any hurdle I can see or maybe help them through, because it's our jobs as leaders is to cut through all the bullshit, cut through the clutter, and move that stuff out of the way and create them wins, right? Try to create them wins, because winning can become a habit, just like losing. So if you can get through there, remove obstacles, remove roadblocks, potential roadblocks, and create them wins, that's how you create this winning culture, and it becomes a habit. And so, but it's a 24/7 job. And I don't know if a lot of people are ready for that, because they don't care that your kids are home at 8 o'clock. They don't care if you're at Disney. They don't care if you're tired. They don't care if you've been up since 5 a.m. If they're having some type of issue, it's important for them. And you've got to be able to put your ego aside and understand that you work for them. They don't work for you. And when you have that type of attitude towards them, people want to work for you, because you're not, oh, I'm the boss, you do this. I don't think I'm the boss, ironically. Like, it's surreal a lot of times for me. I firmly believe that I work for our people, that they don't work for me.
Yeah, no, I love that. I love it because you evaluate people when they leave. Literally 99%, and I'm guilty of it too in the past. When you lose someone, it's way easier to be like, yeah, that guy sucked anyway, or whatever.
Yeah.
About time he's gone.
Right? Yeah, sometimes it is true, but there's always to do better.
It's just easier to do that than evaluate yourself and be like, okay, maybe I'm not as good of a manager as I should be, and if I would have held them accountable, and if I would have done this and I would have done this, maybe they could have been an all-star employee. So I think it's interesting, because right now, specifically, the world we're living in, almost every business I know is struggling with hiring. They're struggling finding good workers. And you've got 60 employees that, I don't know, like, I don't even feel like you're like putting out ads. I feel like they're just coming to you. So to me, that speaks of your culture. And I think that people do look the wrong way. They're trying to rewrite their job post when they should be trying to rewrite how they do their business and how they interact with their employees. Because I promise you, if they were loving their job as much as they should, they would be bringing people in and getting their cousin and their brother-in-law and their friend and stuff like that. Like, man, you got to come here. This place is amazing. And it sounds like that's what's going on with you.
Yeah, that's where a lot of our people have come, is from, internal. We've ran like 2 ads and had no luck from it. Everybody we've hired has either been somebody through social media that we knew, somebody that worked for us that knew them, or somebody that we knew from a previous life that saw what we were doing. A referral from somebody we worked with, whatever. I don't think we've hired one person externally. And so,
wow,
not to say that doesn't work. But, I think when people, it goes back to social media, If you see people you follow on social media, that's why we feel so attached to celebrities and people we see on social media, is because we feel like we know them through the videos, the selfies, what they say, who they are. And so when you're putting that stuff out on social media about what you're doing, like you said, people are going to start coming to you. And then, but also too, you're going to see people that out there that are somebody you would connect with. And I've reached out to people. I don't have an ego. If I think someone's a baller, I'm like, hey man, what are you doing? What can we do to get you to come on? You should come do this. Like I'll reach out to somebody that I see. There's a guy that I stop at QT every morning, at least 3-4 times a week. And the guy's always on point, even at like 5-6 a.m. And I'm like, hey man, you need to come do roofs. And he just won't, but I'm pitching them every single day. Like, come on, man, you need to come work here.
Yeah, that's killer. I love that. That's my best hires have always been like that. I just identify someone who, I mean, is working at the tire shop or whatever it is. I mean, it's someone who you is already working. They're not sitting at home looking at recruiting websites and living on unemployment.
Absolutely.
So tell us, you've launched your new podcast, right?
Yes. So Real Raw Results. What is it? Go ahead.
What's it called?
Real Raw Results.
Okay.
So I had to throw in results in there, of course. And that's the name comes from just getting results in life. But I just wanted to help people get their name out there, tell their story, whether they were whatever they did, whether it was realtor, insurance, didn't matter, entrepreneur, wasn't an entrepreneur. I just found that if you can help someone tell their story, right? Sometimes get them out there, give them some love, right? But also too is to hear people that come from all different walks of life. There's usually like a secret sauce or a secret, potion, if you will, that people that have got to where they want to be are on their way. They've usually overcome some adversity, right? They've overcome some challenges, and everybody has different challenges. Everybody has different shit. And so you're going to go through yours, and it's okay. And challenges and problems actually bring on rewards at the end. And so don't be afraid of those. Don't run from those. And so just telling those people stories and putting them out there so other people can see, and hopefully it inspires somebody else.
Yeah, I love it, man. So maybe what we'll do is we'll put it in the comments if you have a link to it yet or anything like that. If not, can people just search it up in the podcast stores or something like that?
We have it on our YouTube channel, and there's a podcast link in the YouTube channel. It's one of the little links in our. It's Results Roofing is the channel. If you go check it out on YouTube, it has all of our videos, ads, commercials, events, and it has our podcasts and different tips.
Okay, cool. And then before I let you go, I know you started at least one other business since then, but maybe you have others. Tell us how this has now enabled you to start these other businesses and have additional revenue streams.
Yeah, so we've done obviously Results Roofing Houston, separate entity, and then now we just launched Results Roofing PDR, which is paintless dent repair. And so when we were doing homes, people's cars were getting hit with hail, obviously, and so we had a couple guys that we would worked with us that had done that in a previous life, people that I was really, really close with. And I knew that, with the right coaching over time and mentorship, they could be there. And so as that progressed, we offered them ownership in the company. They were actually selling roofs for us while they were still doing dent repair for another company. But as they were growing with our business, like, hey, this is the right time and let's do this. And so now we've launched that, and it's up and going, but we're officially getting it launched October 1st. So not only will we be able to take care of your homes, we're going to be taking care of your vehicles. So if your car gets damaged from the same storm, it'll be a one-stop shop, right? All under one roof.
Yeah,
No
that's
awesome.
Pun intended.
Yeah.
At first, when I saw that, I was like, wait, why is he getting into PDR? And then it seriously hit me just instantly as I had that thought. I'm like, well, duh. I remember living in Texas. Every time my roof got destroyed, so did my truck. So
Exactly.
Absolute genius. I love it. Well, man, thanks so much for being here. If you want, you can stick around. I got to do one more commercial, and then I always finish with my lighting tip of the week, which I'm going to share. But if you have time, if you want, I forgot to play the game. Would you rather? We can ask you some questions. If you got to get going, that's totally cool too. But either way, I appreciate you being here, man. What was that?
I'll say, yeah, I got a few minutes. We're good.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, we're going to just do a quick break, and then we'll be back to play a quick round of Would You Rather with Dustin.
Perfect.
And then I'll finish with my lighting tip of the week. Stick around, guys. We'll be right back.
Are you a military family with a spouse on deployment away from home? Did you know that nonprofit Project Evergreen has thousands of volunteers across the country ready to help military families with lawn, landscape, and snow removal services? We call it green care and snow care for troops. If you are a military family and would like to receive this free service, or if you'd like to volunteer to help, visit projectevergreen.org. Project Evergreen, creating a greener, healthier, cooler Earth, 1 yard at a time.
Isn't it nice when the weather cooperates and crews complete jobs on time and on budget? But weather can cause delays, and with paper route sheets, jobs get lost in the shuffle. That's why you need Aspire Crew Control scheduling software, an easy-to-use, flexible, and affordable solution that allows you to shift schedules with a single click. Try Aspire Crew Control for free at aspirecrewcontrol.com.
Hey everybody, this is Hecubus from the Nightcap. I'm just sitting here relaxing within the vault with my friends and a tasty, tasty pint. You should stop by and listen in sometime. I'm here every Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern, live only on Turf's Up Radio. Your industry, your station.
All right. Welcome back to Lighting for Profits, presented by Emory Allen. Thanks for sticking around, man. I wanted to play this game. This is the first time we played the game, so we'll see how it goes. So, Dustin, would you rather be reincarnated as a beaver or as an ostrich?
Ooh, a beaver, because I love Buc-ee's.
Good answer.
Yeah.
I love Buc-ee's too. All right. Would you rather have corduroy skin or asparagus fingers?
Oh, good. Corduroy skin.
Corduroy skin, really?
Yeah, I don't know if I was like, I don't know.
There is an element to this game where you have to prove it, but I don't know that you could prove that one. I would tend to agree with you there. Asparagus fingers would be difficult. Would you rather have hair that can harden into a helmet at your command or have lock pick fingernails?
Lock pick?
Like, yeah, be able to pick locks with your fingernails, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, of course. But the helmet thing would be cool if you're ever going to get punched or something like that.
Probably would have been better for me as a kid, right? I think.
Right.
Something I got dropped on my head, so that probably would have helped.
Yeah. I guess it depends on where you're at in life.
Exactly.
So would you rather get hit in the face with projectile camel spit or lick the arm of a WNBA player after a game?
I'd probably take the camel spit, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's a tough one. But
yeah, that one's like, I don't know.
I feel
like I'm going to offend somebody if I don't answer that right.
You probably just did.
Yeah.
But remember, you don't care anymore.
Exactly.
Would you? And I'm learning to not care. So would you rather realize you have a wad of gum in your hair or a wad of hair in your gum?
Ooh. So a horrible experience about having hair in your food. So I'm definitely going to go with gum in the hair. I don't want to go through that again.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you on that one. Would you rather communicate when writing using only emojis or communicate in person using only charades?
Oh, I like charades. It's kind of like Heads Up, right? That's a great game. So I'm going to go
That'd be
charades.
fun.
Yeah.
Maybe you guys could do that for one of your videos where you just charade it, a sales appointment or something.
Yeah, that'd be great. How to do a roof inspection, just charades.
Yeah. Would you rather, as an astronaut, throw up in a zero-gravity space shuttle or in your helmet during a spacewalk?
I would say, in the shuttle. Let everybody else suffer too. I don't want to just 100%.
I feel like it'd be easier to clean up.
Exactly.
Yeah, that one's weird. I haven't read these before, so it's like maybe I should have. Would you rather have psychic visions of available parking spots, or be able to speed up the arrival of elevators by pushing the button multiple times?
The elevator, 100%, 100%, without even close. I'm
You got a
all
lot
in.
of elevator issues?
Yeah, I think I have like they're like my arch nemesis. I always feel like they take forever.
All right. Would you rather regurgitate a hairball like a cat, or gargle for 10 minutes with the hot dog water from a street vendor?
I'll take the cat. Hot dog water.
Yeah. Gosh,
Oh.
I think I'm with you 100% on all these answers so far, but
I feel like I'm about to gargle up a hairball just thinking about the hot dog water. That's like the two birds. Oh.
yeah. All right, last one. Would you rather battle a tiger with no front legs or a gorilla with no arms?
Tiger with. I'm going with the tiger. I actually have the weird obsession with wild cats, and I'm all for tiger.
Just to have the experience.
Yeah, just to go with the experience. I don't know, man. The gorillas. I've seen those horror stories where they've like taken out people's legs from their jaw. I think I could fight out the cat more than the gorilla. I'm going to take my chances.
All right. How about battle a tiger with 4 legs?
Yeah,
or a gorilla with no arms?
Yeah, I'm out on that. I'll take the gorilla.
Okay, so it does matter. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was just maybe a tiger obsession with you that you're like, I'll do anything to be in a room with a tiger.
Yeah, but I don't want to be death by tiger. I feel like that'd be a weird way to go, right? Like, how did he go supposed to live his life and he got attacked by the tiger and ended it?
Yeah, he didn't fall off a roof. He fought a tiger with no front arms and stuff, front legs. All right, man. Well, listen, I really appreciate you taking the time to do this. Thanks so much for being here. And yeah, we'll be in touch. I'll send you a link with all this stuff that you can share if you want.
So much for having me. I appreciate it. Have a great night.
All right. Thanks, brother. Take it easy, man.
You too.
All right. See ya. All right, guys. That was awesome. Super grateful for Dustin for sharing his experience. Of course, we could have kept going on for a long time because I got more questions that I want to ask him. But before we end, I want to just leave one thought with you, really just my tip of the week. And it's this. It's a business one. I know sometimes it's, most of the time it's business. Sometimes I did a couple of design or install ones, but most of the time it's business. So what I want you to do is ask yourself, what is it that you're most afraid of? And I'm not talking like what would you rather, like it's gorillas or cats with no arms or whatever. But what is the one thing that you're most afraid of in business? Most of us are afraid that we can't handle what we create. And so we start a business and then we're afraid to grow because it's like, man, if I can't handle what I'm doing now, how am I going to handle more employees or how am I going to handle more clients? And so we're afraid of growth. We're afraid of change, right? But I want you to identify what it is for you. What is the one thing you're most afraid of? Write down a few things that you don't want to do, particularly this week. This week, what are you putting off? What do you know you should be doing that you don't want to do? And then go out and do it. Okay, write these things down, guys, and go out and do it. And I promise you, this is going to help you move the needle. All right, this is a needle mover. This is why you jump in cold water. If you like cold water, jump in hot water. But most of us have a fear of jumping in cold water, jumping off of cliffs. And I'm not talking like large cliffs onto land. I'm talking like cliff jumping into water, right? Running. Okay. Most of us don't like running. There's some runners out there. I get it. But there's certain things that you don't like doing that you should do, like jumping in cold water. Go for a 5-mile run. Go for a hike. Okay. I went hiking a couple weeks ago, and there was times where I was like, man, am I having fun? Like, it really wasn't fun. There was some fun times for sure. But there was times when it was so steep and I was so hot and hungry and tired that I was like, is this fun? And it really wasn't fun. But I was proving to myself that I can do hard things, that I can make it up that mountain, that I don't need to take the train. I don't need to take the tram. And I want you guys to prove to yourself that you guys can do hard things. So that's why you do the physical activity of jumping in cold water, going for a 5-mile run, whatever it is. But prove to yourself that you can do hard things and stop putting off what you know you should have already done, right? Make today the first day of the rest of your life and stop putting off these things. I promise you guys, if you can practice these skills by identifying each week 1 to 2 to 3 things that you don't want to do that you know you should do, and just go out and do them, you're going to prove to yourself that you can do hard things, and it's going to push yourself to the next level. So I guess that's pretty much it, guys. Let me know if you guys go do that. Let me know. Shoot me an email, support@ryanleecoaching.com. Tell me what the 1 or 2 things you're going to do this week that you know you should do, but you haven't done, and push yourself. Go do it. And if you decide to go jump in cold water, send me a video. Yeah, let me know how you guys do and prove to yourself that you can do hard things. I want to thank my guest, Dustin Gutkowski with Results Roofing. I want to thank Emery Allen for their partnership. Go check them out at emeryallen.com. And just remind you guys, keep working on your business every single day, every single week. And that's a wrap. So thanks so much for being here, guys. Really appreciate your participation. And you guys have a good week. Don't forget to go do these things. Write down what you don't want to do and then go do it. See you guys. Have a good one.